What the fuck? What was that?
A woman was getting ready to leave for work when she noticed her dog acting extremely scared, refusing to move, and fixated on something that couldn't be seen, which led her to start recording.
Something strange today. I don't know what's wrong with her. What's wrong, Bailey? Huh? I don't see anything. Bailey. What? What is she looking at? Bailey. What was that? Did you just hear that? Bailey? She keeps looking over here. I don't know what's wrong with her, but something isn't right. God, what is that noise? Bailey, what is it? What the? Oh my God, did that chair just move? Oh my God.
Focus on the chair. It suddenly starts moving on its own, scraping across the floor. The woman steps back, completely shocked, while Bailey continues to stare at the same spot as if something is still there. Some might say it's just vibrations, but the timing and the dog's reaction make it feel unsettling, raising the question of whether something unseen was actually in the room. In November 2025, a man named Kyle Anthony shared a video showing himself investigating something unsettling inside his home. He claimed he had been hearing voices coming from his crawl space, which pushed him to start recording. From the start, his voice sounds tense and unsure as he slowly moves toward the opening, clearly hesitant. The suspense builds as he keeps filming, but for a moment, nothing seems to happen, and then something changes.
I should not have come down here. What is that? I'm stuck. I'm not trying to get out of here.
Faint but noticeable sounds emanate from deep within the crawl space, not random or mechanical, but more like distant voices echoing from a hidden location. They last for a few seconds, clear enough to hear but impossible to understand, giving the impression that something might be down there out of sight. It could also be ordinary sound traveling strangely through tight spaces or even edited audio, but the uncertainty is what makes it unsettling. This unsettling clip comes from a woman who collects haunted dolls, and what's captured here is enough to make even experienced viewers uneasy. At first, it feels almost impossible, the kind of moment that makes it necessary to pause, go back, and watch again, because what happens doesn't seem like it should be happening at all. At first, most people assume simple explanations like faulty wiring, hidden batteries, or some internal mechanism. But once it becomes clear there are no batteries inside, it starts to feel much more unsettling. Many collectors believe certain objects can hold paranormal energy, and dolls are often seen as especially disturbing because of their human-like features. Some claim these dolls have moved, made sounds, or appeared in places they were never left, which is why they're so unsettling. There's something deeply wrong about an object that looks human but isn't alive, especially when it suddenly moves on its own. Moments like this only make that feeling stronger, raising the question of what could have caused it when nothing visible was there. Hearing a strange noise while home alone is usually when people should mind their own business, but this person didn't. A creepy laugh echoed through his house, and with nothing but a flashlight, he went to check it out in the dark room, so you really have to listen closely. The closet is slightly open, and suddenly a pale hand slips through the gap. The man panics, rushes over, and throws the door open, but there's nothing there, just emptiness. The situation escalates when a door slams behind him, followed by a chilling scream from the hallway. As he cautiously looks out, a horrifying face briefly appears in the darkness before the video abruptly cuts off. No one knows what happened to him after that, leaving the whole incident unsettling and unresolved. This takes place in Russia with a ghost hunter named Dennis, who entered an abandoned mansion said to be haunted by an evil witch. What he came across inside left him completely speechless. Dennis moves through the house where the air feels thick and damp, and out of nowhere, the furniture starts shifting. A mirror and a shelf begin shaking violently right in front of him, as if the place itself is trying to force him out. Even with the fear setting in, he keeps the camera rolling. The fear intensifies as he passes a bedroom where something unseen seems to rush at him from the darkness. Even though it isn't captured on camera, he describes feeling physically attacked. That's when he stops the investigation and leaves. There are stories about an old woman who disappeared from that house, and locals avoid talking about it. After the experience, he reportedly dealt with illness and recurring nightmares, as if whatever was in that place didn't want to be disturbed and might not have stayed behind. The video was recorded inside a home that, according to the family, no longer feels peaceful. Unusual disturbances have been happening so frequently that the tension has started to take over the entire household. The children wake up from intense nightmares, describing things they say they see and hear in the dark, even during the day. Objects are found moved or out of place without any clear reason. Over time, the family has captured several of these unsettling moments on camera, but none of them compares to what happened one night, when the activity seemed to grow into something much more disturbing. People following the family's updates noticed the activity wasn't stopping and seemed to be getting worse. Many suggested cleansing the house, believing whatever was causing it might be deeply rooted. Others disagreed, warning that doing it wrong could make things worse or even provoke it. There's also the risk that, without understanding what's inside, the process could fail, and the activity might continue in unpredictable ways. So, is cleansing really a solution, or could it make everything worse? Antonio was home alone and went downstairs, using his phone for light. He tried turning on the switch, but the lights didn't work, so he had to rely on his phone's dim glow to see. He carefully walked into the dining room, and at first everything seemed normal, but then something suddenly changed.
Fear. I was left alone in the house. Things have changed for me since I watched that video. I hear things. There's no light. I don't know what to do. I hear a lot of things. Oh God, I'm scared. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Who's there? And oh my God, what's up? What's up? What is that? What's up? What's up? What is that? What is that? No way.
Out of nowhere, a dining chair dragged itself backward across the floor, slow and steady like something unseen was pulling it. The sound filled the house, and Antonio just froze, barely breathing as panic hit him. Then the video cuts off, leaving people unsettled and guessing what kind of paranormal thing was going on. If a chair could move like that, who knows what else was lurking in the dark, or how much worse things got after the recording ended. A paranormal investigator named Sean Daston travels to places believed to be haunted, looking for proof of something unseen. His search recently brought him to a family home in Conway, South Carolina, where the residents reported a series of disturbing and unexplained events. They claimed toys were moving on their own, chairs were shifting without anyone nearby, and their young daughter had been talking to someone invisible. What unsettled them the most was the name she mentioned, which matched a man who had once worked on the house and later took his own life. After experiencing all of this, the family set up a camera, and what it recorded was deeply unsettling. Without any clear reason, a toy car suddenly starts rolling across the floor on its own. No one is near it, and nothing touches it, yet it keeps moving, as if something unseen is pushing it. Just as it finally stops, a large picture frame crashes down loudly, echoing through the house. By then, the family is already shaken, but what happens next makes it even more disturbing. In the dining room, a chair slowly slides away from the table, not tipping or shaking, but moving smoothly as if something unseen is pulling it back to sit. It keeps drifting farther, even though no one is there, making it feel less like a coincidence and more like something out of a nightmare. At that point, the situation becomes deeply unsettling. So what exactly was inside that house? Was it just a series of strange but explainable events, or was something truly unseen moving through those rooms, watching and waiting? 2 suspects are dead, and the 3 who survived are facing murder charges after a battle at a pawn shop in Oakland, where employees were also involved. 1 employee was injured.
5 suspects entered the business and began to assault the employees inside.
The incident happened after closing time when 5 masked suspects, some armed, entered the store and began assaulting employees, leading to an exchange of fire, though police say it is still unclear who fired first.
Right now, we're still early in the investigation. That's going to take time to determine who shot first in regards to who pulled out the guns first. Well, I don't want anyone to think that we're in a place to where we want our community to become vigilantes. That's not what we're looking for here. You're going to have these incidents that we've experienced over the last couple of weeks, but when you look at it collectively over the last 18 months, almost 2 years, you're looking at double-digit reductions in violent crime across the city.
During the shootout, 2 suspects were killed, and the other 3 were injured and later charged with attempted robbery and murder because their accomplices died during the crime. A TikTok user named Antonio Park posted a video on May 6, 2024, showing himself walking through a hospital basement. It's unclear if he worked there or was just exploring, but the setting alone feels unsettling with dim lighting and empty hallways. As he keeps moving, everything seems quiet at first, but then something suddenly happens.
¿De dónde puede haber salido? Sí. A la mierda.
Out of nowhere, a heavy book suddenly flies off a surface and slams onto the floor with no one around and nothing visibly touching it, making it seem more like it was thrown than just falling. Antonio doesn't react much and keeps exploring, not finding anything else unusual. It could look like some kind of unseen force moving objects, or it might have been staged with something pulling it from off camera. Either way, seeing something move like that in a place like that is enough to make anyone uneasy. Mark, known online as Donnie Drunkard, has a basement that's been the focus of strange activity for years. He's recorded multiple shadow figures over time and regularly shares live paranormal investigations on his YouTube channel. In this part, a few of the more recent moments spotted by viewers during his live streams are being looked at.
Here's an example where we all saw the same thing, but coming up here, this is one of the cool examples. This is where I saw a shadow that shouldn't have been there. But this was lightened up by Jilly McCree's Kelly, and she did a good job, because if you look to the door at the right, you see that little, there is an anomaly. This one is subtle, but it's there nonetheless. Okay, this one was really freaky because I was messing around with frequency, whether it be EMF or pulsing light frequency, audio frequency. And by flashing lights, somebody, I don't remember who it is, please forgive me, but they sent that in. That, whatever you want to call it, wasn't behind me in any of the other clips. But I mean, the footage is up there to where you can go and lighten it up yourself, whatever it is. And
A smaller shadow figure appears to pass straight through the wall. In earlier clips, viewers also thought they saw the same figure disappear through a vent in the hallway, making the whole moment especially unsettling.
it's like it's running into the other room through the wall, or not, or just going there. But that wasn't the case for my. Now this one makes me cry. Thanks again, Kelly, for this one. She lightened this one up. This is the lightened footage, and this is like the coup de grace. She captured this 3 days after the stream. She thought she saw something just around watching, and she lightened it up. Now we'll do a close up, and right there, the SLS was going off. You can't see because of it's brightened, but there is an SLS figure showing there. But watch what happens when there it is. And, you know, something was being picked up in the hallway. But, you know, this kind of helped me believe I was not crazy. This is zoomed in and slowed down. You can clearly see something white, a white mass moving down the hallway.
What looks like the same shadow figure shows up again in the hallway, this time appearing more gray. It moves along the corridor and seems to pass straight from one wall to the other.
The pattern has been obvious for a while now. EMF has an effect on things. Frequency from my electric guitar has an effect on things and can be used as a catalyst.
Can you wave? See that? That's it right there. Yeah, I got him. Great. Yeah, I got him. Great. Yeah. That's it right there. Yeah, I got him.
Great. Yeah, I got him. Great. Yeah, I got him. Great. I saw it with my eyes.
The activity seems to still be continuing, and he'll likely keep investigating it. At around 8:04 p.m. on December 28, 2025, a Reddit user known as Big Daddy 1989 was scanning the night sky in Sonoma, California, using a PVS-14 night vision device when he noticed something unusual and managed to record it. A triangular object appears, gliding across the sky with 3 faint lights, one at each corner. He described it as moving quickly and silently, saying, "It made no sound whatsoever. I was facing northeast, and the triangle was traveling northwest. This is my second time seeing this triangle. First time I saw it with my night vision tube alone, and this time I had my camera attached /filming, and was lucky to capture this shot. The triangular shape stands out as similar sightings have been reported before, often described as silent and moving in unfamiliar ways, though the footage alone doesn't clearly explain what it was. This 263-year-old colonial house, known for its creepy attic and unsettling collection of dolls, has gained a reputation as one of the most frightening homes in America. Once its history is looked into, it becomes clear why. According to the owners, the house has been the source of various unexplained events, including shadowy figures moving between rooms, heavy footsteps echoing through empty halls, voices with no clear source, and even their cat reacting as if something unseen is moving around. Then one night, something particularly disturbing was caught on camera.
My phone just started dying, and the notification did scare the shit out of me. Just did my skincare. And I am going back downstairs.
In the footage, the bathroom light can be seen flickering unusually. But what unsettled people most was the timing, because the moment she walked in, the flickering suddenly stopped, almost as if whatever was affecting it didn't want to be seen. That wasn't the only disturbing detail. Later, someone noticed something others had missed, a face appearing for a brief moment. With everything already reported in that house, even a small detail like that becomes hard to ignore, and the moment remains unexplained. Owen got home around 4 o'clock in the morning and noticed something strange in the snow outside her house and nearby homes. Fresh footprints circled the entire property in an unusual pattern, as if something had been walking around in the dark. Feeling uneasy, she started recording. The prints looked large and didn't match dog tracks or anything familiar. What stood out most wasn't just their size, but the fact that there was no clear trail leading to them, as if whatever made them simply appeared, walked around, and then disappeared. Some suggested wind might have covered part of the trail, but that still doesn't explain what actually made the prints. Paranormal YouTuber Jake Ghost Hunter traveled to New Orleans to spend the night inside May Bailey's place, one of the city's oldest and most feared locations. Built in 1775, it has a long and unsettling past, once operating as the first licensed brothel in the area. Over the years, visitors have reported ghostly women believed to be former workers, along with a male presence known for knocking things off the bar. Alone inside, Jake started his investigation by setting up his equipment and placing a cup with a straw on the bar, trying to trigger the spirit said to linger there.
My second piece of equipment, which is going to be the SPI app, which uses AI to listen for EVPs and spirit voices. The REM pod just went off. The REM pod just went off over there on the bar. I just made a full video. What was that? That was a beeping sound. The REM pod. That means it's detecting heat. Is that the old man? But this is a great app, and we're going to use it to see if any spirits want to speak through this. And spirits, you can do that. There's a stroll and a cup down there, and if you push that off, that would be probably one of the best pieces of paranormal activity I've ever seen in my life. So I would appreciate it. Whoa. REM pod went off again. What in the hell was that? So many sounds, and I don't know if it's a part of like the bar and it's like a regular sound, or if it's a ghost just trampling.
It doesn't take long before things start to feel off. Strange sounds echo through the building. Light knocks, faint whispers, and sudden movement, all centered around the bar area, which already has a reputation for repeated paranormal activity.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. So this is a digital REM pod. It's detecting heat again. Right when I was about to do that. This just said shelf. And Jennifer was literally telling me that things get pushed off of shelves. Are you serious?
On rare occasions, they love to shove things off of shelves.
Oh my gosh. And what have I been trying to do since I got here? I've been trying to get them to push something like the straw off the cup on the bar. Okay, that is an intelligent response. I'm going to let this experiment keep running, and I'm going to take the SPI app and head into the men's restroom, which is where people get locked in and locked out. And I'm going to see if that can happen to me. Oh, it's a creepy bathroom. What in the hell? Hello? I'm going to be in here for just a minute, and I'm wondering if you could maybe lock me in the bathroom. Can you speak through this and tell me who is shutting people in and out of this bathroom? Are you a former patron of the bordello? Dude, there's somebody walking out of that. I can hear footsteps out there, dude. Who's walking outside right now in the bar? Okay, let me listen to this and then let's go back out there. I'm hearing footsteps right now. Whoa! It like, listen. After those first two questions, it was like it's like someone's mad. And hopefully we're not locked in. Okay, we're good.
Jake heads upstairs to his room, a spot known for even more activity. Past visitors have reported doors locking by themselves, objects moving for no clear reason, and even waking up to see a figure standing next to their bed.
Here we go. And we're in. The old bordello suite. This is where all kinds of activities would take place. I'm still running on this app. We're going to see if it says anything, but right off the bat, I think we should set up a few pieces of equipment. And I want to use something that we've not used tonight yet, which is the spirit music box. So I'm going to throw this on the bed. And basically, if there is any movement whatsoever on this bed, we're going to know about it. This is a tri-field that detects EMF. I'm going to see if we can detect any strange electromagnetic anomalies in this room. May Bailey? If you're here, I would love to talk with you. This is where you would bring your guests up and do things. If you would like to do things tonight, can you touch the device in my hand or sit on the bed, please? Oh my God, was that me? Nope. I was standing still. You can see me on that camera, and it just lit up. That was insane. Also, sorry to break it to you, but I have a girlfriend, so we can't do anything tonight. But I will hang out with you. If you're cool with just hanging out, can you sit on the bed and make that play music again? That was really, really, really weird.
Trying to make contact, Jake asked any spirit there to sit beside him on the bed. Almost right away, his motion detector went off, reacting as if something invisible had just taken a seat. Taking it as a sign, he then switched to a spirit box to try to capture a voice.
We come from... Is May Bailey here?
I'm gonna...
He said, I'm gonna... something you. Who's here? Who's in this room?
I was able to point.
I was something. Is there any former ladies of the night here from the bordello? Is there any former ladies of the night here from the bordello? Is there any former ladies of the night here from the bordello? What the hell was that? That was like a kid. What do you think about me?
James Bond.
James Bond, okay. All right. I'm not, you think I'm James Bond? I'm James freaking Bond?
Yes, exactly.
It just said, yes, exactly. Oh my, that's because of me.
Then something unexpected happens. Through the static, a clear voice comes through, joking that Jake looks like James Bond. Whether it was real communication or just a coincidence is still unclear, but it's hard to ignore that something seemed to be responding to him in that room. Watching, listening, and reacting in a way that's difficult to explain. Bear, who usually sticks to camping and hiking, decided to explore a massive abandoned building filled with multiple floors and endless rooms, knowing there could be others inside. It didn't take long for him to realize he wasn't alone.
Oh my God. Like I said, I already heard a noise coming from a third floor, although I don't know exactly which one. There are so many floors.
The moment he stepped inside, sounds echoed from above. With just a flashlight, he quietly made his way up the staircase, worn and decaying as the noises grew louder.
I'm getting goosebumps. What the hell? I think someone might be here. What is that? I know you hear it.
Room after room, he moved quietly, each step echoing as the feeling of being watched wouldn't go away. When he reached the upper floor, everything suddenly changed.
told you. There's someone here. Oh. No.
Suddenly, loud banging came from one of the rooms. Someone started moving toward him, spotted him, and then began chasing him. The footage quickly turned chaotic as he ran down the staircase trying to get away.
What are they doing?
A man holding a bat chased him, clearly trying to harm him. He managed to escape, but the moment showed how fast an exploration can turn into a life-threatening situation. Exploring abandoned military sites can reveal hidden history, but sometimes it leads to something far more dangerous, proving some places are better left alone. A group of people was watching an eclipse when something strange showed up in the sky. At first, it looked like a bright, glowing orb, but then they noticed something even more unusual, a shape that seemed to be sitting or standing on top of it. Some think the orb could be explained naturally, but whatever appeared on it makes the scene much harder to understand, leaving it unclear whether it was just an illusion or something far more unusual. A young man recorded this while walking along a road. This matches descriptions people give of the shadow figure often called the Hat Man, a tall, completely dark shape with what looks like a hat. Some believe its presence isn't random, and multiple accounts describe it the same way. It doesn't move closer or make a sound. It just stands there watching, almost like it's waiting or feeding off fear. A Reddit user named Chunky Metal shared a video on a ghost subreddit, saying it was filmed by a friend while inside his uncle's house. At first, everything looks normal and nothing seems out of place, but then something happens that suddenly shifts the entire mood of the clip.
D. Front. Door. Center. Center has opened. Disarm now. Disarm now.
Out of nowhere, the front door slowly swings open by itself, with no one clearly visible at first. Moments later, a dark figure appears in the doorway, staying completely still without stepping inside. Looking closely, faint glowing eyes can be seen within the shadow. It remains there for a moment before the clip ends, leaving everything unexplained. Some see it as a shadowy presence lingering outside, while others think it could have been staged, with someone standing in low light or effects added. Either way, the sight of a door opening on its own, followed by a silent figure watching, is enough to feel deeply unsettling. On July 20th, 2023, a user on TikTok named WinMcPix shared a video that quickly unsettled viewers. He claimed that while sitting in his room playing video games, something seemed to be watching him. He noticed a strange figure repeatedly passing by his window. At first, he tried to ignore it, but as it kept happening, the feeling became harder to shake. Eventually, curiosity and fear led him to start recording to find out what was really going on.
Keeps passing by this window. I just propped up the phone here and I'm gonna play If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off. Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? Just think so. He's closing doors. You need to get out. Dude, will you knock it off, please?
As he moves around the room, things suddenly escalate. Objects begin to shift and then fly through the air with no clear cause. Then comes the moment that stands out the most. A door slowly opens on its own, and for a brief second before it shuts, a dark human-shaped shadow is visible, standing still inside. Some think the video might be edited, while others believe it shows something more disturbing. Either way, it leaves a chilling impression. A man claims his house isn't just dealing with normal noises, but something paranormal, with a piano often playing on its own in an empty room. Since his friends didn't believe him, he set up a camera to try to get real proof. Suddenly, the piano lid lifts on its own, and even though no one's there, a couple of notes play. If you look closely at the footage, there's what looks like a faint white mist moving near the piano. It leaves people wondering if it could be something paranormal, like a ghost trying to play one last tune. A Reddit user shared a seriously unsettling clip on a cryptozoology subreddit, and people quickly started reacting to it. One look at the footage explains why. It seems to be recorded on an old camcorder, giving it a worn, eerie feel right from the start. In broad daylight, the person filming walks through a quiet forest, casually scanning the surroundings like everything is normal, until they suddenly come across something that feels completely unnatural. As the camera zooms in, a tall, thin figure appears in the distance and starts moving closer. Its posture looks off and unnatural, and the way it moves doesn't seem normal. The longer it stays on screen, the more disturbing it becomes, especially in the empty forest with no one around. Some associate it with the Wendigo, while others think it could just be a person acting strangely. But either way, the encounter feels deeply unsettling. A man was recording his living room for no clear reason, and everything seemed quiet and normal at first. Then suddenly, a faint noise comes from the kitchen. He pauses for a moment, and when the sound happens again, he decides to check it out. Moving slowly with the camera shaking, he looks into the kitchen and finds everything exactly where it should be. He turns back, feeling relieved, assuming it's nothing, but something unexpected appears right after.
What is that?
What is that?
It came from the kitchen. You guys are seeing this, right?
I'm documenting everything! This is getting worse!
Damn, man, it's right next to me.
Panic takes over, and he bolts out of his own house in fear. To this day, no one has been able to explain what unseen force moved that object, leaving it unclear whether it was just the wind or something far more unsettling. A man thought he had found the perfect apartment, quiet, affordable, and a fresh start. But not long after moving in, that feeling faded as strange noises began, especially at night. He started hearing footsteps in empty rooms, faint whispers with no source, and loud bangs from places where no one was. At first, he tried to ignore it, assuming it was just normal building noise, but it kept getting worse. Eventually, it felt like something else was there with him. To prove it, he began recording everything on his phone. But one night while filming, things escalated into something much more disturbing than he expected.
Looks like that. 빙빙 shock. 빙빙 shock. 빙빙이 수한테 거기세요.
After another noise, he followed it down the hallway. Without anyone touching it, a drawer suddenly slid open, the sound breaking the silence. He panicked and ran out of the apartment. Outside, he looked back at the window and saw a dark figure standing still inside, just watching. Hours later, he returned, knowing it could still be there. These clips feel more like a warning than proof. Moving into a new place doesn't always mean a clean start. Sometimes it means stepping into something that was already there. The figure in the window didn't seem random. It felt aware and deliberate, almost like it belonged there. It didn't come across as just haunting the space, but protecting it. And that raises a disturbing question. If something in a home didn't want someone there, how long could they really stay? A young woman named Carolina visits a hotel deep in a remote forest, a place that looks peaceful on the outside, almost too perfect to seem dangerous. At first, everything feels normal as she films her room, excited and showing her surroundings. But in the middle of that moment, the camera unexpectedly captures something terrifying, leaving her immediately shaken. For a brief moment near the bathroom, a strange figure suddenly appears, moving in a way that feels unnatural before disappearing just as quickly. Carolina notices it right away and rushes to check, expecting someone to be there, but finds nothing at all. Whatever showed up is gone instantly, as if it was never there. Later, she learns that other guests have reported similar unsettling experiences in the same hotel, which makes the footage feel less like a random shadow and more like something unexplained. Because of that, many believe the place could actually be haunted, raising the question of what else might still be there. On TikTok, a user named DocsHouse23 shares experiences of what feels like paranormal activity in her home. She often mentions a persistent sense that she isn't alone, even when everything is quiet. Occasionally, she notices brief movements in the corner of her eye that vanish when she looks straight at them. Then one night, her living room security camera records something that makes those fears much more difficult to dismiss. A small glowing object appears in the room, floating and slowly drifting back and forth in a way that feels intentional rather than random. Then suddenly it shoots off to the right toward the dog, which reacts instantly, jumping off the couch and running out of the room like something isn't right. As strange as that is, it gets worse later in the backyard. A dark figure steps into view, completely black and moving unnaturally. For a brief moment, it seems to notice the camera before slipping back into the shadows. The shape looks human-like, but has no visible features, no face, just a solid dark presence, leaving no clear explanation for what was outside the house. This unsettling video was uploaded on October 13th, 2025, but the footage itself was recorded back in 2022. At the time, a woman was alone at home, resting upstairs, when she suddenly heard unusual noises coming from below. Feeling uneasy, she picked up her phone and carefully made her way downstairs while recording, trying to find the source. What she captured turned out to be far more disturbing than expected. As she pauses halfway down the stairs, a dark, shadowy shape briefly slips past the open space in the railing. It's only visible for a moment, but right then, a loud noise echoes through the house, making the timing feel connected, like something moved just out of sight. At the time, she checked the entire house and found nothing unusual. She didn't even notice the shadow until watching the footage years later, and there were no pets that could explain it. So what exactly was captured that night? A passing spirit, leftover energy, or just a coincidence? Either way, it remains unsettling. An explorer uses his camera to document decaying, restricted locations and capture what's left of forgotten places. But during a trip to Sandy Hook, he and his friend Mike experienced something far more intense. What started as an exciting visit to explore old military bunkers quickly turned uneasy as soon as they entered. The atmosphere shifted, making it feel less like a historical site and more like something far more dangerous.
Alright guys, here we are at Sandy Hook, exploring these hidden bunkers for another epic exploration here in Broward. It's a little cold. This place is pitch black.
The bunker turned out to be a maze of concrete corridors, easy to get lost in and overwhelming in its design. It felt more like an underground prison than a coastal fort. As they went deeper, they realized it was far more complex than expected, with hidden passages branching off in different directions, turning their excitement into growing unease.
How? What is this called? Secret passage. Hey, this is crazy. These balls don't lock anything. Dude, this is crazy. I think that just leads back.
What looked like a dead end suddenly opened into another path, pulling them deeper into the dark maze. It felt exciting, but the isolation and decay made it unsettling. Then something shifted. In the darkness, something unseen rushed past them, catching both off guard and sending a surge of fear through the tight space.
What is that? That just scared me. It's really creepy. Why did it scare me so much? Is that why you tripped? Buddy, there are a lot of passageways here. Wow. This is like impossible to figure out.
Even if it was likely just an animal, the sudden movement and heavy silence put them on edge, making it clear the bunker wasn't empty. After calming down, he explained the history of the place, a structure from World War II built to defend the coast during a tense time.
For anyone wondering what this place is, it's an old abandoned military bunker from World War II that was used to watch over our coast.
In New Jersey and New York.
When tensions were pretty high, this is what they looked like. Come on, comadre.
There's a rich history here.
After finding the exit, they made their way to another bunker on the East Beach, but this one felt off. Disturbing graffiti referencing SCP-096 set a darker tone as they moved through the decaying interior. Then suddenly, something rushed out of the darkness, catching them completely off guard and making him scream.
That's pretty funny.
We're not going now.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yes.
Another SCP escaped.
I'm not sure you know what you're talking about.
It's a story about monsters. They're trying to...
I really have to watch where I step. One wrong move and you're out.
Oh, that would suck. You really have to be careful.
Yeah, watch where you step.
So what was really moving through those tunnels? Just animals hiding in the dark? Or something else that didn't want to be disturbed? And if something was already down there, how long had it been waiting? While reviewing security camera footage from his workplace, a man named Kyle noticed something unusual in the kitchen. An employee was just walking through normally when they suddenly reacted as if someone had touched them, even though no one else was there.
Had some paranormal activity happen up here the other night, and I think I got something on tape. Let's check this out. Here comes my boy. Something's gonna push him on his left shoulder. Whoa. It was quick. Might not have seen it, but he's freaking out over here. He asked my buddy if there's something on him, like an insect or something. No. So I felt like something just pushed me. That's what he told me. So, he's blown away. So we're gonna run this back a little bit. There we go. Now let's roll this frame by frame. See him walking. Alright, so coming up here, look over his left shoulder. There's going to be an orb a cloud, so to speak, right here. Okay? Over his shoulder. Now, I'm going to go to the next frame, and you can see that there's something over his shoulder. Next frame, it's gone. Frame after, he's looking back for it. What the hell was that? So now, just for fun, since I've showed you the breakdown, we're going to go back and we're going to watch it in fast motion one more time. And let's look. Let's see if we can find it. Here it comes. Orb. Oh man. Great.
As the employee walks through the kitchen, he suddenly turns back as if he felt something brush against his shoulder. Just before he reacts, a faint white mist-like shape appears over his shoulder for a brief moment, then disappears. At the exact second it's gone, he looks behind him, clearly expecting someone to be there, but no one is around. There's no one close enough to have touched him, which leaves it unclear what he actually felt or what caused it. This disturbing video was recorded by Nate, someone already known for the strange paranormal activity happening in his home. Recently, people found out he used to work at a cemetery, which led some to believe whatever is happening might be connected to that. While nothing is confirmed, the events around him have kept people talking. One morning, while going about his routine, he heard knocking at the back door. It seemed normal at first, like someone trying to get his attention, so he went to check who was outside. But when he reached the kitchen, something unexpected happened.
So I just thought I heard somebody knocking on my back door. But I looked out there and I saw nothing, so it seems like the dog heard it too. Hello? It sounds like it's coming from the back door. It's locked. There's nobody there. What the hell? I don't understand this. What the hell is that? Hello? I don't understand.
There's no clear explanation at all, and if the audio is listened to closely, a faint whisper can be heard in the background, something many think sounds like a woman's voice. What makes it worse is that this isn't the first time voices have shown up in Nate's recordings. In earlier videos, people claimed to hear murmurs and soft replies when he spoke into empty rooms. Because of that, some have suggested he should stop reacting, believing it might make things worse, but that's easier said than done. Hearing knocks at the door would make almost anyone check, especially with everything else happening, like unexplained scratches, objects moving on their own, and sharp items being thrown around. Some believe the whisper could be an electronic voice phenomenon, but with everything surrounding Nate, it's still difficult to fully explain what's going on. The Ogden paranormal team decided to stay overnight at Asylum 49, a place with a reputation for intense paranormal activity. During the investigation, 2 team members, a man and a woman, sat quietly in a dark room, waiting to see if anything would happen, while the rest of the group watched from another area. What followed ended up being seriously unsettling.
It sounded like a whisper. Something was against the door. Did you notice that?
I'm getting scared.
It's not enough back there. I know it's weird.
For a while, nothing happened, just the low hum of their equipment filling the silence. Then, out of nowhere, faint sounds started behind them, like footsteps or something shifting in the dark. The two looked at each other, clearly uneasy, before slowly turning around, and the camera followed, showing nothing there at all. No one, no movement, just a space. The sound lingered for a bit, then suddenly stopped. Later, the team checked all their CA space, affirmed no one had gone in or out, which honestly just made the whole thing even more unsettling. So even though the house looks like a normal, cozy place from the outside, the inside tells a much darker story. It was built back in the 1950s, and the last owner actually passed away in the main bedroom, while 2 unknown bodies were discovered in the yard. Since moving in, the family's dog, Loki, has been acting constantly frightened, and Sam even showed on camera that there was nothing physically causing it by removing the bark collar. Upstairs, there's an odd door set more than 5 meters up the wall with no way to reach it, which is what pushed him to start filming.
I'm gonna take it off you right now, just so everyone knows there's nothing there. Come on, buddy. Hey, it's okay. It's okay, buddy. Tail down. Oh. Post it up. See, me and him both heard that. And look, now he's going to run off and leave me up here like an idiot. See? Straight to the point.
Take a look at Loki, his tail tucked in tight, which clearly shows he's scared. Strange sounds can be heard, along with faint voices that seem to echo and repeat what Sam says. And that's only the beginning.
See exactly how high that door is. If you're on the ground floor, yeah, you'd be talking about 10 plus 8. You'd be talking about at least 18 feet from your feet down. Why the
In another nighttime clip, a pair of bright, widely spaced eyes can be seen staring out from the darkness before suddenly vanishing. Then, even during the day, a toy horse is seen rocking on its own with no one near it. All the signs are there, leaving it unclear whether Sam is actually capturing something paranormal tied to the dark past of his house, or if this is just an incredibly well-planned hoax. Either way, no one has been able to figure it out yet. Most people would think a retail store is one of the last places where anything paranormal would happen. With bright lights, open aisles, and cameras everywhere, it's supposed to feel safe. But a creepy TikTok video from a user suggests otherwise. As the person films while walking through the aisles, there's already a sense that something feels off, like something isn't right, even before it's clear why. At first, it's hard to tell what's bothering him, and then something suddenly happens.
Hace rato se andan escuchando ruidos de este lado. Nada más que no había querido venir a asomarme porque es que en este maldito pasillo es donde se asomó la cochinada esa, ahí en ese lado de allá. Ahí es donde se asomó y la verdad me da mucho miedo estar viniendo a asomarme para acá. ¿Qué es eso? Se está moviendo el carro. Soy yo, se está moviendo esa mierda. No mames, se está moviendo. ¿Qué mierda pasa aquí? ¿Qué mierda está pasando? Se está moviendo esa porquería. No te muevas, no te muevas. No, 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 no.
A strange face can be seen peeking out from behind stacks of toilet paper. Faint but clear enough to feel unsettling, like something is hiding there and watching. That's not the only odd thing, though. A nearby shopping cart slowly moves on its own without anyone touching it, and suddenly, the store doesn't feel normal anymore. It starts to feel more like something out of a horror scene. Still recording, the person continues walking further inside, and what happens next only makes things even stranger.
Banda, si me siguen pasando estas cosas que hago, ya no sé si reírme de nervios, reírme por no llorar, ya no sé ni qué hacer. Tú como vamos, sácate a la verga.
Then, out of nowhere, a ball starts rolling across the floor on its own with no clear cause. In cases like this, small, unexplained movements are often linked to poltergeist activity, meant to disturb whoever's nearby. Of course, it could all be a stage, the face might be someone hiding behind the shelves, and the ball could have been pushed from out of frame. But when one strange moment leads to another, the face, the cart, the ball, it becomes a lot harder to brush it off as just a prank or coincidence. Hannah had been dealing with something far stranger than the usual worries that come with having a baby. Alongside questions about sleep, health, and feeding, there was one thing that stood out. Her daughter kept talking to someone no one else could see. Unlike typical concerns, this wasn't something people would easily take seriously and could even lead to judgment. Not wanting her daughter to be misunderstood, Hannah reached a point where she needed real answers. So one night she decided to figure out what was really happening.
You hold the camera and all you have to do with it is walk around because it's recording a video. So you don't need to take pictures, you can just walk around. Do you know if Joe is down here?
He shows up while we're sitting.
Is he sitting there?
Yes.
Can you tilt the camera, see if you can get him out of the video?
Yes.
Is he still in the chair?
This is where he sleeps. He has left his left hand.
Does he sleep down here?
Yes, I can't see him because it looks like he's asleep.
He's asleep.
No, you can't sit there because that's not a bed. But that is the bed. Joe says that this is the bed where all his friends share.
Oh.
But he doesn't see me.
He doesn't see you?
He doesn't see me for a long time. He doesn't see me for millions of days. He only sees me sometimes.
He only sees you occasionally. Do you think Joe has something under the house?
Now you see it. Something right down here. Just a little breeze.
Just a little breeze.
He doesn't play with the balloon.
He doesn't play with the balloon?
I leave it on the couch for him in case he wants to play. Here you go, Joe.
What really unsettled her was when Hazel casually said her friends sleep there, meaning it wasn't just one invisible presence, but several. That alone is enough to ruin anyone's peace. But it got stranger when people noticed the camera glitching, right when Hazel pointed at a chair and looked underneath it. Some thought it was paranormal interference, others blamed technical issues like a weak signal or a lens problem, but the timing felt a little too perfect to ignore. Then, things escalated. One night while putting Hazel to bed, Hannah brought up Joe again, trying to get more answers. By that point, she had already learned the last names of children who used to live in the house, and wondered if Joe's name would match any of them. What happened next completely caught her off guard.
Downstairs is Joe's birthday.
Is it Joe's birthday downstairs?
Yes. It's Joe's birthday. He likes flowers. He likes flowers.
He likes flowers.
Little flowers and big flowers.
Does Joe like flowers?
He likes them. He likes flowers. When he has flowers, he does.
Oh, he likes jokes.
Yes.
Do you know what Joe's last name is?
No.
Is his last name Joe? That's it? Doesn't he have a different name?
No, he does have a different name. Corn. And ere and pear. And he has those letters on that page.
Hazel, who can barely spell, managed to get most of Joe's last name right, something Hannah couldn't explain. She didn't share the name out of respect, but Hazel shouldn't have known it. At first, Joe seemed like a harmless imaginary friend, but things changed one night when Hannah picked up a book about being nervous. Hazel said Joe gets nervous too, and when asked why, she said it happens when someone named John comes in, introducing another unknown figure.
He is the person who is very mean to me.
Is he mean to you?
Yes.
Where does he live?
He lives next to Joe's house. But Joe says don't ever listen to him again.
Okay.
Hannah began considering a sage cleanse, saying that dealing with daily life was already enough without one's spirit, let alone two with unresolved issues. She even joked about being stuck next to someone she disliked in the afterlife. Not long after, unusual things started happening around the house, and one day in the workshop built by the previous owner, something unsettling was caught on camera.
So I'm going to finish up quickly before going downstairs. The other thing up here that's hers is this box. And my husband stacked everything on top, so it's too heavy for me to open. If I remember right, there was nothing inside. It just says Peninsular and Oriental Steam Navigation, and there are some old torn off stickers there. But I could take a look later. When my husband is here, I'm going to get him to come down with me because I'm getting a little scared. So this is the tour of the workshop. So far I haven't found anything with names, but I'll keep looking. What the hell is that? Okay, now I hear noises, so I'm going to get out. Goodbye.
If faced with Hannah's situation, how should it be handled? Would moving out be the answer, or seeking help, or just trying to live with Joe? In the video, a group of friends breaks into the Congress Plaza Hotel in downtown Chicago to explore it. The hotel was built in 1893 for the World's Columbian Exposition, has hosted several U.S. presidents, and was even used as a U.S. Army training site during World War II. As soon as they step inside, something unexpected happens.
All right, we're in the secret wing. Hello? Dude.
They barely get inside before a security guard notices them, but instead of throwing them out, he surprisingly offers to show them around the place.
We got busted.
I found out about Adele Langer and her 2 kids. And I found an article from the week.
There you go, right there. Yeah, I've never been in here either. Now we're getting the grand tour now, dude. What? Yo. Probably is, man. Dude.
I think they are. I think the shadow's just cheeky.
We're getting the grand tour, dude.
I think the shadow.
All right. Thank you so much, man. I feel special. Dude.
Yes. Roosevelt.
Wow. The Congress Plaza. Yeah, this is like a fancy. Oh my goodness, dude. Wow. What the heck? Thank you so much, man. This means a lot. That's so beautiful. Wow. This whole room is a goddamn work of art, man. Like. Right? Yeah, this looks like Kremlin or. I'm sorry, I'm swearing so much. Whoa, man.
They don't capture anything unusual while exploring, but the security guard shows them footage he recorded from the CCTV during his time there, revealing something far more unsettling.
Dude, what the heck?
That's
Oh my god.
such a good photo.
Whoa, that's like blending in with the fucking carpet, dude.
I caught a shadow on. Seriously.
Oh man.
Wow!
That's weird, dude.
That is so cool. Which room is this?
That's like...
Is this like a
ballroom or something?
ballroom?
Yeah. Dude.
I've been.
Yeah, sorry,
We found
dude.
a hallway that.
The guard shows them 2 images of a figure caught on camera that looks almost transparent, nearly blending into the background. With the building's history, the group quickly becomes convinced the place is haunted. Jennifer owns an old house from 1907, filled with antiques from over a century ago. It seemed charming at first, but soon after moving in, odd things started happening. She began noticing footsteps when she was alone, whispers, objects shifting on their own, and shadows moving where nothing should be. After talking local historian, she found out there were no hospitals nearby when the house was built, and at least 4 people are believed to have died there. Some believe strong emotions from deaths can leave something behind, and viewers already suspected the house itself might be responsible based on her past videos. One evening, as she sat down to eat, unusual sounds started echoing through the house.
I'm hearing a few things. It's like 4:45, so I'm just going to listen and see if I can catch anything. Okay, I thought I just heard music. I want to go up on this landing and see if I can hear it. Okay, we'll listen up here. I seriously feel like I'm hearing people like have a conversation. No one's here but me. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing movement. Down there. And then I heard something up here. Do you hear that? It sounds like music. It's the usual dinner time activity. I'm gonna play it back and see if I caught anything.
What makes the clip so unsettling is that everyone hears something different. Some pick up a faint hum, others notice knocking, and a lot of people swear they can hear a man saying, "I'm fine," while a few even catch bits of soft music. None of it seems to come from any clear source, and after watching, people couldn't agree on what it was, just that something didn't feel right. It leaves you wondering if the house is echoing its past, or if something inside it is starting to notice the people living there now. The team known as Signs and Signals returned to an abandoned house they had explored before. On their first visit, they found a small wooden box and took it home, opening it on camera without knowing what it was. Afterward, viewers started warning them, saying it resembled a so-called Dybbuk box, something often linked to darker paranormal stories. According to those legends, objects like that can carry negative energy or attach themselves to people. Taking the warning seriously, they decided to return the box and place it back where they originally found it.
So David's going to make the new seal.
Just do what they had here.
So,
Put it back. They had it in the middle. Okay.
oh, I know.
Oh, that looks pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Are you here with us? You back in the box?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say either. We're a bunch of scrubs.
So you didn't hear that?
That might have been something on the roof.
Okay. We command you to get back in the box.
Oh, dude, that's freaky.
That's the candle.
I know, it's like crackling right when you're asking questions.
Should I just use the spirit box? We need you to get back in the box.
Dude, did you fart?
No, I smell that too. That stinks.
Dude, that smells so bad. I know you farted.
No.
That smells pretty bad.
Hey, I'm getting a little closer to this candle right here. This candle.
The candle smells good, but that smells like
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't like that I said that?
Is that you that stinks? Hello? Open the door.
Dude, that shit's on the ground now. It's on the ground.
What the dude is spinning, man. How did they move up there to down there and not like fall into pieces?
Dude, what the man?
I didn't know they even play music. Man, you crazy for going in there.
As they wrap up the investigation, they go through the footage, not realizing they've captured something unsettling. In the back corner of the room, there's something that shouldn't be there.
Back here and
I don't know, you do some crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, look, how did that thing turn? Straight up, bro. I ain't messing with you. Look, how did that thing turn? Yeah, look, how did that thing turn? Yeah, look, how did that thing turn?
In the shadows, a dark shape slowly appears against the wall. The investigator doesn't react, suggesting it went unnoticed at the time. But when the footage is enhanced, the shape looks disturbingly human, a still figure standing quietly, watching. It raises questions about whether it was connected to the box they returned, or if it had already been there. Either way, it left viewers deeply unsettled and added another eerie mystery to the footage. Presidio Park in San Diego looks like a peaceful spot for picnics during the day, but at night, it's known for heavy paranormal activity with stories about women disappearing into the fog and eerie legends of a boy with deer-like legs. About a month ago, a user named Ivan and his girlfriend went there to film at night, and everything stayed completely quiet until something changed.
In San Diego? Just come real quick. Just quickly, okay? Yeah. Look, this is where I kind of got scared. Like, my heart kind of started pounding. Yeah, like when I saw. Cause I don't. Ooh, stop. Pa. What the fuck was? What was that? Pa. What the fuck was? What was that? What the was that? Wait.
They move through the darkness, the atmosphere so tense it feels almost suffocating, and then suddenly, from somewhere between the pitch-black trees, a strange sound breaks the silence.
What the fuck was? What was that? What was that? Wait, did you hear that? What the fuck was? What was that? What the was that? Wait, did you?
His girlfriend panics instantly as that sound echoes through the darkness. The voice doesn't seem human at all. It's warped, almost like an angry growl filled with pure hostility, and there's clearly no one around. They're in the park. Some believe it could be something sinister guarding the area, while others think it might just be someone messing with them, but either way, it feels more like a warning than anything else. Noah and his girlfriend Annie explored an abandoned farm, ignoring the clear no trespassing sign. Inside, everything was in ruins, with broken floors and debris scattered everywhere.
We made it. Be careful where you step, Annie, because this could easily give way. We managed to get in here. I can't believe it. Was this the chimney or what? No, not really.
They see us because we're by the window.
Yeah, you're right. Although it's a bit difficult, but... that fan? The humidity gets trapped when abandoned houses are boarded up. And that's what causes these fans to become what I call crying fans.
Maybe we should go upstairs.
Do you think so?
Yeah. It's a little steep.
Wow, yeah, that floor doesn't look good at all. Is this the kitchen? The kitchen is tiny with many matches. Some disrespectful Urbex explorer could easily set this place on fire.
Soon after entering, Annie heard sounds coming from upstairs. At first, they brushed it off as the house settling, until something more unusual started happening.
Do you hear something upstairs?
Maybe it's the house, I don't know.
What did you hear? Voices?
Not voices?
What did you hear? What did you hear?
I'm walking into cobwebs. There are a lot of things here.
Closets. Wow.
Do you want to go upstairs?
Yes, I'll go upstairs for a bit. I'll go in first.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't expect this place to be open. Is this the garage? How far up did you go? Annie?
Just up to the top of the stairs.
Okay, so it's stable, huh? Just a weak carpet. Disgusting. Interesting. And we really have to be careful here. One step at a time. My hair is covered in spider webs. Wow. Annie, this is a 2-bedroom. I'll tell you the story in a moment. There's really not much about this place, but there's animal droppings all over here. This is a strong reminder to be careful with the nails. That's a piece of wall. Or from the ceiling, I mean. That came down right on that mattress over there.
They didn't find anyone upstairs, but in one room, part of the ceiling was hanging and moving in a way that didn't make sense, not from wind or anything obvious. The footage shows it clearly. It's the kind of moment that makes you question whether exploring places like that is really worth the risk, especially when something feels off and can't be explained. Night shifts are already uncomfortable, but working as a guard at a remote construction site in Chile takes it to a different level. He constantly felt watched, with tools being moved around, strange sounds in the distance, and sudden cold chills. Because of that, he started recording to capture proof, and what ended up on camera was seriously unsettling.
Here, there's another hallway here too, and it's lit. Some of the others are dark. And that's when we took the opportunity to keep moving forward. That way is where we're going to go right now. So we're going to be very careful. Oh.
He moves through the dark hallways, and a shadowy figure shows up in a doorway. As he gets closer, it suddenly disappears. Right after that, the temperature drops fast, and his breath becomes visible in the cold air. He tries to stay calm, but something unsettling is about to happen.
Who's there?
A deep, harsh whisper comes through right next to his ear. Panic takes over, and he immediately abandons his post, running away from the place. Some might say it was just fear getting to him, but that audio makes it hard to believe he was alone. A man decides to record the unsettling activity that seems to happen whenever he stays late at work alone. What makes it more disturbing is that nothing ever occurs during the day when the office is busy and full of noise. It only begins after everyone leaves and the place becomes quiet and empty. On certain nights, he hears faint tapping sounds, like soft knocks coming from somewhere in the dark. And over time, it creates the feeling that something might be nearby, just out of sight, watching him.
Kalau masuk, udah main-main pintu. Tutup lagi nyamuknya. Ngapain? Ya Allah, makin iseng aja lah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Udah dulu yang bagus. Hey.
Then the door slowly starts creaking open on its own, inch by inch, with no one there to touch it. What follows is even more unsettling. A face suddenly appears right there, not far away or hidden, but close enough to be clearly seen. Moments like this make the footage so disturbing because it suggests whatever is causing it isn't distant. It's inside the room, moving through the space, close enough to watch and be noticed. This paranormal enthusiast says there's a spirit in her room that actually responds to her commands, so she decided to record it as proof.
Is my door. A ghost in my room closes my door. It'll be a lot visible to you. Close it now. You're almost there. Close my door. Close it. No, I don't want you to open it. Close it. Close that once and for all. Do it. Let's go. I don't have all day. Close it so I can go to sleep. Thanks, I guess.
She speaks into space, calmly asking it to shut the door like she's giving directions to something unseen. A few seconds pass, and nothing happens. The tension builds, and then the door slowly starts moving on its own until it fully closes. She says the lights flicker too, and that it always responds to her. Some people explain it as drafts or pressure changes, but she's convinced it's a spirit, while others believe it could be harmless, and some warn it might be something much darker pretending to be friendly. This video was shared by a woman named Hannah the day after dinner. She was quietly watching videos on her phone when, out of nowhere, something unsettling suddenly happened.
Hello?
Out of nowhere, creaking starts coming from upstairs, sounding like someone walking around on the second floor. Her dog picks up on something and begins barking aggressively. Staying careful, Hannah moves toward the stairs, and that's when things get worse. She suddenly hears fast footsteps rushing down toward her, like someone running straight at her. Completely terrified, she runs out of the house right away. The unsettling part is that she was alone the entire time, and nothing like this had ever happened there before, leaving no clear explanation for what she heard. On March 30th, 2026, a janitor working alone on the night shift spots something on the security cameras that completely scares him. Moments later, knocking starts coming from the restroom, and he quickly grabs something to defend himself.
Ai đâu? Ai đâu ơi? Ai đâu? Ai đồng đi đâu? Ai đâu? Nam mô Di Đà Phật, Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Ai đâu? Nó lầy mày nữa. Nam mô Di Đà Phật, Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Có ai không? Có ai trong đi không? Ai đâu? Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Ai đây? Ai không? Mẹ ơi.
First, there's knocking, but when the door is open, no one's there. Then, more knocking comes from inside the restroom, and again, nothing. He checks every stall, even the one that opens on its own, but finds no one. As he leaves, a disturbing sound comes from one of the offices. After checking the security cameras and noticing something unusual, he decides to go see for himself. And what he finds is truly terrifying.
Bye.
A pale woman's face appears through the window, wearing a hat, her hair hanging over the glass as she stares directly at the janitor. He watches through a small gap, completely frozen, until she suddenly disappears. The experience leaves him so shaken that he can barely speak afterward, and the next day, he puts charms on the doors to try to keep anything evil out. But the question remains, what was it? And was it connected to the strange activity in the restroom? This clip comes from a quiet neighborhood in the United States, where a front door security camera recorded a moment that feels like pure psychological horror. Late at night, a strange figure breaks the silence, dressed in a rough, handmade outfit with what looks like a crude demon mask. The person claims to be a demon and quietly says a gift has been brought, then places a small cardboard box at the door before disappearing into the darkness without another word. After the footage spread online, it caused panic in the neighborhood, and police stepped in, later announcing they had identified the person using fingerprints from the doorbell. However, no details were ever shared, and they stated the box was empty and there was no danger, closing the case. Despite that, many people doubt the explanation, suspecting there's more to it, and the mystery of what was actually inside the package still lingers. On December 8th, a shop owner in Indonesia was recording inside his warehouse like he usually does to show off his glass and mirror products. But while getting a mirror ready for filming that night, something unexpected happened. Sharp, steady knocking sounds start coming straight from the glass itself. As it goes on, things get even weirder. The mirror's wet surface begins clearing on its own, with water sliding down in neat streaks like something invisible is wiping it clean. There's no tool, no reflection of anyone, nothing visible causing it, but the movement is obvious. Later, the man said he'd heard those same knocking sounds before, usually from far away, and every time he checked, there was nothing there. He also mentioned he bought the mirror cheaply from a charity shop, where the seller seemed way too eager to get rid of it. He didn't think much of it back then, but after this happened, he sold the mirror and the knocking completely stopped. Either it was a really strange coincidence tied to that mirror, or getting rid of it finally got rid of whatever came with it. In May 2022, a man named Jose Miguel Stark walks into an abandoned hospital in San Jose early in the morning, around 6:30. The corridors are worn down, and the silence feels heavy, almost suffocating. Before anything unusual is even seen, faint and unexplainable voices start echoing through the space, and then something even stranger can be heard.
Shit away.
The door suddenly slams shut on its own, and there's clearly no one around. Looking closely through the glass, a pale figure seems to appear for a brief moment, like a shadowy outline. Some would argue it's just a draft or a reflection, but the mix of those eerie voices and the forceful door slam in an empty hospital is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Sometimes the tension alone is enough to break someone. A Reddit user named Ghost in a Chair Tattoo was camping in the mountains when he suddenly heard a woman scream. They pointed their flashlight into the darkness, but no one was there, and they chose not to go into the woods to investigate. Some people said it was likely just coyotes, while others weren't convinced and believed sounds like that should be reported just to be safe. A cameraman wanders through the dark, crumbling remains of a building, driven by curiosity and not expecting anything serious. That assumption turns out to be a mistake. Within seconds, a faint but clearly human-shaped figure appears in a doorway.
Oh my god. That's pretty cool, that is.
Some believe it's the spirit of a young girl standing silently, watching from the darkness, as if tied to the decaying walls around her. It could just be someone hiding there to scare people, but encountering a silent figure like that in such a bleak place completely shifts the mood. After that, every shadow starts to feel dangerous. A woman driving through Alberta, Canada, noticed something unusual in the distance and quickly started recording. The video, later shared on TikTok by a user named Nevsy, shows a large group of people dressed entirely in white walking in a perfectly straight line across an empty field. Their movements look slow and coordinated, almost ritual-like. Because of their appearance and formation, many viewers compared them to cult activity. Later, the uploader claimed it was actually a Ukrainian choir filming a video, but then everyone believed that explanation, and the scene still leaves people uneasy. A TikTok user named Ben Trolley was walking alone in the woods at night when he suddenly got the strong feeling that he was being watched. He stopped and pointed his flashlight toward the area where he saw something unsettling. A human-like figure with glowing eyes appeared from the darkness, partially stepping out of the bushes and staying still for a few seconds as if aware of him. He quickly stopped filming and ran away. Some believe it matches descriptions of a cryptid like the rake, while others think it may have just been a normal animal that looked strange because of the lighting and distance. This creator got deeply into trying to communicate with spirits using Ouija boards and EVP devices. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but over time, the strange noises in his house at night started getting more intense. Then one night, his TV suddenly lost signal and turned off on its own, which led him to grab his phone and start recording.
No. No way, what the... I mean, look, my hands are right here. No, I'm telling you, yes, no way.
He slowly pans the camera across the room, and in the darkest corner, a tall shadow can be seen, completely still and darker than everything around it. It doesn't move, it just stands there as if watching. He freezes, and moments later, it fades back into the darkness like it was never there. After that night, he stopped trying to reach out to anything, as if something had already made its way into his home and possibly never left. A man went on a solo hike, planning to enjoy some quiet time in the forest while recording the scenery. Everything seemed calm until his camera caught something unusual ahead on the trail. Among the trees stood a dark figure, much larger than an average person, with very broad shoulders and moving on two legs, though the footage was too unclear to show any real detail. Some think it might have been a person, while others believe it looked too strange for that. He didn't go any closer, and the video ends without revealing what it actually was. A man named Brent was inside a shopping mall around 4 o'clock in the morning, a time when it should have been empty. No customers, no staff, just silent corridors and closed shops. But while recording O, he captured something that didn't belong there. Suddenly, strange sounds echo through the mall. They don't seem random or mechanical, but more like slow, painful cries, almost like a child in distress. The noise carries through the empty halls, making the place feel even more unsettling. Some who heard the audio think it sounds like multiple voices at once. Others suggest places tied to strong emotions can somehow hold on to that energy and replay it later. Standing there alone in the dark, Brent is left unsure whether it was something ordinary or something far more disturbing. A person was hiking alone through a dense forest and decided to record a short clip of their surroundings. In that brief footage, a large, hairy figure can be seen moving slowly through the trees, seemingly unaware of the camera. The figure matches the typical description of Bigfoot, though the video quality is noticeably poor, which raises questions about how clear it should have been. A young guy is casually showing his football skills while a friend records, and everything seems completely normal at first, with no sense of tension. But in the background, something disturbing appears for a split second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
As the young man kicks the ball, the camera briefly turns toward a nearby bridge, and for a split second, something disturbing appears. A figure that looks like a ghostly woman stands there in an unnatural way, visible only for a moment before disappearing. When the camera points back to the same spot seconds later, there's nothing there, with no clear place for anyone to go. Viewers noticed how still the figure looked and how quickly it vanished, making it unclear whether it was something real or just a strange coincidence. What was actually captured in that moment? A woman looking after a small chapel heard loud noises coming from inside, banging, creaking, things that shouldn't be happening that late at night. Thinking it might be a break-in, she pulled out her phone and started recording while moving through the building, but it turned out it wasn't intruders. It was something much more unsettling.
Mire que yo hice esto y casi que yo hice.
According to her, one of the gray wooden statues inside the chapel starts moving, which doesn't make sense since it appears to shift on its own. She considered that someone might be controlling it to scare her, but the way it moves doesn't match that idea. It doesn't look like it's being pushed or handled like a solid object. So what was really causing it to move? And if it wasn't a person, then what else could it have been? A landowner in North Carolina set up a motion-activated trail camera along a narrow deer path to capture local wildlife. Among the usual images, one photo stood out, showing a young girl standing directly on the path, illuminated by the camera's dim light. The timestamp matched the other automatic captures, yet no one had been anywhere near the property. The area is private, remote, and difficult to access, but somehow she appeared there alone in the middle of the forest. The way she stood out in the image only made it more unsettling, raising questions about how she got there and why she looked that way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.